Buy this crawling Nigerian stock before it flies in 2026. Already, the Q1 profit of this company has exceeded the whole of the previous full year. This is a hidden gem in the Nigerian stock market. And guess what? In Glofolio, I already called their attention in June. But this stock is still crawling. Now, out of impatience, a lot of people might be selling off this stock or maybe thinking that, oh, nothing is happening. Hey, something is happening. Take advantage of this particular opportunity right here. Welcome to Coach Oge. In this video, I share strategic Nigerian stocks to buy. And if you are yet to subscribe to my community with everything I'm churning out in this channel, please hit the subscribe button. We are already at 8,800 subscribers. Please help me get to 10,000 so that more people can see the videos and the information I'm sharing right here. I want Nigerians to trade the stock market profitably. That's why I don't produce random videos. That's why you don't see me come online to share different videos every day. I run a research. I make sure that the videos I post are data backed, are strategic, and at some point, I also go to help you make money in the Nigerian stock market. And if I've been following my video recommendations, sorry, my stock recommendations, I'm sure many of you, especially those in my private community, 2025 has been a big year for us. We've made a lot of money in the market. Few stocks that I've mentioned on this particular channel have done exceedingly well. For example, here where I talk about penny stocks to buy that will spike in 5 months, go and check what the penny stock is doing right now. Where I talked about the next hottest stocks to buy right here, go and check. It's already doing well right here. Mercure, go and see what Mercure is doing. Go and look at Mercure financials. I've mentioned stocks that if you are very strategic, if you understand how I trade, you probably would have even captured the strategy that I used to invest in the stock market. Today, I want to mention one company that is crawling. Yes. Now, it's moving, but it's crawling. And I'll tell you why I said it's crawling. Because many stocks in that sector had moved 100%, 200%, 250%, 300%. But this company is crawling. And I'll tell you why I think it's crawling. And I'll tell you why it looks like investors are not noticing it now. And this is the best time to jump in. Now, this strategy helped me to buy livestock from 1 naira into 9 and 10 naira. This strategy helped me buy Champions Brewery. And I can mention many stocks that I've actually taken advantage of using the same model, especially stocks that when you see their results, see, it's already enough. Looking at the fact that they are benefiting from macro events, their fundamentals, and I'm going to share one interesting chart pattern. See, when you follow people who are very sound in the market, right? See, you are going to be learning every day from their video recommendations, from their video and stock recommendations. I mean, see, in this market, you don't have to be so strict. See, when you have learned, when you have done a lot of research, it is easier for you to see opportunities even just at a glance. See, when I look at the chart right now, my stage, my where I am in the stock market, by looking at the chart, I can easily tell the type of chart pattern just like I showed you the last one on the one do volatility contraction pattern. Now I am looking at what I call the cup and handle pattern, which is forming on both the weekly and the monthly time frame. That's why this stock will definitely fly in 2026. And now is the time to take advantage of the buy opportunity. Now, before I continue, let me quickly share my usual disclaimer. The ideas shared in this video are based on my personal research and calculations. Kindly do your due diligence, please, before you invest in this company stock. The stock market comes with a lot of risk due to uncertainties, and please make sure you vet my recommendation based on your risk profile. So, for some of us that are yet to follow.com/today, I already have a new page where we aggregate all the latest business and financial news from different or leading newspapers in Nigeria. We call it glofolio.com/today. So what it does is it automatically pulls headline from different newspaper and then you're able to see them. So you don't have to go to, for example, one newspaper and then you're saying politics and business. It only pulls headline that moves your money, headline that matters to you, headline that will help you make informed investment decision. Now let's continue. The Nigerian stock market has delivered an estimated 49.74% on a year-to-date basis, with NGS consumer sector printing a whopping 104.1% in the same period. Let's look at the Nigerian stock market. The Nigerian stock market had printed impressive gain in 2025. So here is the number. So you can see right here, Nigerian stock market 49. Can you see here? Look at it, the bracket 49.74%. I really wish there's an ETF that tracks the NGS index. Now, this gain is largely driven by the consumer goods sector. Look at consumer goods sector. Consumer goods sector is up by 104%. Assuming there's an ETF that tracks consumer goods stocks, if you had bought in January and held till today, what happened? You would have been up by at least 104%. That's what the consumer goods sector index has printed so far. This is very impressive. So, like I said here, the gain was led by consumer goods index, printing a whopping 104% in the same period. It's obvious that the consumer goods sector drove the market to a new high. So the new high you're seeing on the NGS index, or the majority of the rally, was actually led by the consumer goods sector. So let's look at the key catalysts behind that rally. What would have helped consumer goods stocks to pick up? What would have helped consumer goods stocks to attract a lot of buying interests, receive insurance funds? So these are what I think are the catalysts behind the rally. Number one, a lot of consumer goods stocks have reviewed their prices upward. Go and check the price of consumer goods stocks today and what it was last year. You see, most of them has even they've increased their price. Some of them have even sachetized their products, meaning that some of the products you can only buy in big pack or in bottle. You can find them in sachet. So that way it's accessible to more people. So upward price adjustment driving sales. That's one. Second one is stronger naira exchange. You notice that a lot of consumer goods stocks were beaten down between 2023 and 2024 because of naira devaluation. Some of them were booking massive losses on their book. Especially, you see the likes of Nigerian Brewery, International Brewery, Champions Brewery, Cadbury. A lot of them, they recorded massive loss because of FX loss, because of higher exchange rates. Some of them, they rely on FX to fund their import. So a stronger naira will most likely help them to cushion that effect. So stronger naira had helped. And then the third one is moderating inflation. Inflation has moderated a little bit. So that way, the pressure, the cost pressure of distribution, transport, marketing, yes, even though it's still high, it's still rising, but it's not as fast as it was the previous time. So inflation to an extent had also helped them. So the second and the last one actually helped to save costs or moderate the cost pressure. So that way, bottom line is lifted. And then the fourth one, the rising population is driving demand for essential products in Nigeria. See, Nigeria has a lot of population. That's the strength of Nigeria, population. And population, higher rising population is good for consumer goods store, because the more people will come into Nigeria, the more we increase the number, the more the demand for essential products increases. So these are the catalysts, I think, behind the rally we have noticed on the NGS consumer goods index. Now let's look at some stocks that have done extremely well, some consumer goods stocks that I think have done well in the market. So top performing stocks, these are just some of them, and I had to pick the ones that I've recommended before, although we have more. So these are not all the stocks. The idea is just to show you type of return most of these stocks have posted between January to date. Look at NASCON. NASCON is up by 250% from January to date. Look at Champions Brewery, 203%. I'm sure some of you keyed into NASCON. Champions Brewery, 293. So I usually say that if you want to be a profitable trader in the market, you must learn to capture a larger chunk of the rally. You see each of these stock right here, we captured a larger chunk of that rally, because before NASCON picked up, we are already in at 38 naira, 38 to 40 naira. So imagine holding NASCON from 38 to 40 naira into 100 naira. Imagine holding Champions Beauty from 4 to 5 naira into 15 naira, 17 naira. So if a company is going to do 290%, the question is how many percentage did you capture? I captured more than 200% gain from Champions Beauty. Nigerian Beauty 123, Guinness 146. I'm still holding Guinness right now, because this is a stock I think has more upside potential. But please, if that's not a buy recommendation, my entry on Guinness is around 66 naira. So don't say because I said I'm still holding Guinness, then you rush to buy. My entry on Guinness is 66 naira, and Guinness is selling above 170, 180. Now, Northern Nigerian flour mill, we captured significant gain. And some of you that keyed into this stock when I posted it, it should be up by more than 100%. It's even on Glufolio platform. Honeywell, the same thing too. So look, this is just the average return of consumer goods company. So the question is, which other stock is crawling in this sector that is yet to pick up? That's exactly what I want to show you in this video. There's one stock that is crawling. Crawling means that it's not moving as fast as its peers. When the peers are posting 250, 293, 123, 146, 113, 217, this guy is still crawling. So let's look at this other slide. Now, these are stocks. These are the typical return of a consumer goods stock that is benefiting from the catalyst I shared earlier. That's this catalyst here. So the typical return of consumer goods stock that is benefiting from this catalyst are these 250, 293, 100, 146, 113, 217. So the question now is, if a company is moving slow but reporting significant growth with its fundamentals far ahead of the current financials, I think you should buy now. That means if you find a company that is also reporting impressive results in that sector, but the share price is not rising as fast as the fundamental, meaning that fundamentals are actually ahead. Imagine a company fundamental being ahead of share price. That's an example of a stock that is largely undervalued. For instance, the company reported over 200% growth, 300% growth in revenue, sorry, in profit, EPS, but price is just crawling. Price is only doing 40, 50%. Then it means that the stock is here to catch up with its real potential. That is the reason I am buying and accumulating PZ stock on dip. So this is the reason why you should buy PZ today. PZ is still crawling right now. So there are two solid reasons why I am bullish on PZ. Aside from the macro events, which are the stronger naira and moderating inflation and also increase in sales, there are two reasons why PZ is a strong buy. The first one, we're going to be looking at the chart setup on PZ. The second one I'm going to look at is the fundamentals. Let's start with the chart setup. There is a chart pattern that is showing on PZ that signals that very soon we're going to see a massive rally. And that chart pattern is showing on two major time frames at the same time, which are the weekly time frame and the monthly time frame. So let's start with the weekly time frame. So here is PZ on charts. Now, what is that chart pattern that I will be talking about? The chart pattern is cup and handle pattern. So let's look at cup and handle pattern. So cup and handle pattern. Now, here is cup and handle pattern. Now, a cup and handle pattern looks like a cup. This is it here. It looks like a cup right here. Can you see? Looks like a cup. And then you have the handle before the breakout. You can see here, it looks like a cup. Imagine holding a tea cup. So this is the cup itself, the body of the cup. And then this is the handle before the breakout. You can see that's what cup and handle pattern is. Look at this again. This looks like a cup. You see here. So you see share price falling and then rising back to previous high, then dropping. That drop will not be as hard as the previous drop. Imagine, remember the volatility contraction pattern I taught you. So here, when the stock drops, it's going to drop by a smaller percentage compared to the initial drop. And then you see the rise again and then a breakout. This is the first candle pattern. This is the first chart pattern that I want you to note. So let's look at the definition of cup and handle pattern. I can even go to my chat GPT. So let's ask chat GPT because I want to explain and I want to note something right here. What is a cup and handle pattern in stock? So I usually do this just for beginners to understand different chart patterns. So a cup and handle pattern is a bullish, can you see here? A bullish continuation pattern in stock trading that signals a potential breakout and further upside movement after a period of consolidation. Now, the stock drops gradually, then bottoms out, and then rises back to about the same level as before the drop. This creates a U shape that looks like a cup. So hold on, let's go to PZ. Now, here is PZ here. Now, where is PZ today? PZ is selling for 37. Remember, had already recommended PZ on Glufolio platform at a price. This is it here. In June, this consumer goods stock is prime for surprise breakout in June. And then as at that June, PZ was still selling for 36, 37 naira. So for those that keyed in early when I recommended the stock, at least they should be in profit now. So that's why I usually say enter our community, because when you enter Glufolio community, you have early access. You can see here our initial entry on PZ was around 36, 37 naira. That was in June. That was in June, and already projecting a price of 51 naira on PZ. So here it's what a cup and handle pattern is. Let's go back. Now you see that the stock gets to a level. Look at a major rise here. The stock went to 37 naira, pulls back. Can you see? That's what ChatGPT says here. You can see the stock drops gradually, then bottoms out, and then rise back to the same level as before the drop. Now you can see the stock rise back to the same level as before the drop right here. Can you see here? Now, let's go back to then here. It shows that the stock went through a healthy correction and accumulation phase. Sellers exited and buyers started returning. Can you see here? So the stock went through a sell-off stage, then went back again. That means sellers have exited and the buyers are already accumulating. Now, the decline and recovery should be a smooth, not too sharp. Now, the depth of the cup is typically 10 to 50%. The cup base can fall from 1 to 6 months. Now, look at the handle side. After completing the cup, the stock moves sideways and slightly downward for a short period, forming the handle. Now, this is it here. The stock drops again and move up, forming the handle. Can you see here? We have the handle right here. So right now, you can see PZ breaking out of this key level gradually. Can you see here? So we are seeing a breakout form on PZ at this important key level. This is the cup and handle pattern on a weekly time frame. Let's expand the chart to a monthly time frame. This is where you now see the big picture. So imagine cup and handle forming on both weekly and monthly. This is the monthly time frame on PZ. Now look at the first. You can see here, look at where it's starting. Look at the cup here, right here. You can see the cup here. So this level where PZ is trading now was actually the high as at 2014. So PZ is testing a key level, a multi-year key level that was respected as far back as 2014. So if I mark this key level here, can you see? I can mark it. Can you see right now? So this is an important key level, meaning PZ is trading into a year high, multi-year high of at least 11 years, because from 2014 into 2025 is 11 years. So you can see this is the cup. Now look at the handle. This is forming on a monthly time frame, monthly. Now, this is the handle here. So, which means that PZ is preparing for a massive rally. You can see the cup and handle pattern on monthly, cup and handle pattern on weekly time frame. This is why I am extremely bullish on PZ right now. And it signals a breakout. The breakout happens when the stock rises above the resistance level formed by the cup rim, that's the previous high. Ideally, this breakout happens with high trading volume, confirming buyer's strength. So this is a breakout happening right here before us. So if you don't understand this, you might just look at PZ and say, oh, nothing is happening. There is a breakout coming up. There's a breakout happening, sorry, and then this is actually at a multi-year key level. And when the stock is breaking out of multi-year key level, it signals that we are going to see a massive rally coming very soon. That's why I said this crawling stock. Why did I call it a crawling stock? Is because while others are posting gain of at least 100%, this guy had only done 70% this year, meaning from January to date, it has only delivered 70%, which means it has underperformed. It has underperformed the overall sector. Overall sector is doing 100%, which is the consumer goods index, and Guinness is doing 70%. Why its peers in the same sector? Look at what they are posting here: 250%, 293%, 123%, 146, 110, and 217. Why is PZ lagging behind? The answer is very simple. The answer is very, very simple. Let me tell you why. This has to do with one, perception, because PZ has different, if you look at it there, among all the consumer goods stock, PZ is among the few that has a different financial year period. Most of this company here, from NASCON, Champions Brewery, Nigerian Brewery, Guinness, NFM, Honeywell, I think Nigerian Brewery is different. I'll look at it again. PZ financial year period. So when companies are releasing Q1 results, most companies in consumer goods sector, PZ is not part of it. So PZ financial year is different. So when companies are releasing Q2 results, PZ is not being looked at because it has a different financial year period. If we're looking at Q3, the same thing. So while now we're looking at Q3 results, nobody's talking about PZ because one, PZ financial year period is different. And when PZ releases its results, people don't really look like it's only few people that quickly notice it. So I feel that there's a gap from that angle. And secondly, PZ is just starting a new financial year. So PZ is just starting a new financial year. Now, let's look at the recent results of PZ in the new financial year. First thing I'm going to look at is the Q1 results. So look at PZ. You can see here for the first quarter ended August. You can see. So when we're looking at Q3 in September, PZ is reporting first quarter results. So PZ is just starting its financial year. So before we look at the financial year, let's look at what the audited report was like. So we'll go to audited reports of PZ. That is the last financial year. So the last financial year starts May. Can you see? May. That's the full year when other companies are even looking at reporting Q1 results. So that difference for me makes it look like when attention is being paid to a lot of consumer goods companies, PZ is actually exempted because it's not part of it. So look at PZ results here. You can see from 2024 to 2025. Now, profits for the year increased by 111% from a loss of 82 billion to a profit of 9.2 billion. Now you see revenue 152, revenue went up by 40%. Let's look at the detailed financial results to explain this better. Let's look at detailed financial results. Okay, now this is it here. Look at revenue. You can see from 152 to 212, gross profit 54 to 57, operating profit from a loss of 124 billion to a profit of 18.9, and then profit before tax from a loss of 122 to 16, and then profit for the year from a loss of 90 to 10 billion naira. You can see this is a company that has just reported its first loss. This is a company that just reported the first loss. Now let's look at the EPS, earnings per share. Now the EPS from 20.8 naira loss in 2024 to 2.32 profits. So this is the full year results. This is the previous full year results. Now let's look at the PZ Q1 results. This is the first quarter. That means the beginning of the new year. Now you will notice something very impressive here. So let's look at the full result of PZ. Now here is PZ full results. That is not full year, the first quarter results. Now look at the first quarter. Now revenue from 39.9 to 59. Now, gross profit from 12.2 to 15.9. Now, look at operating profit. It was even a loss in Q1 2024 from 4 billion to 21.5 billion. Now, look at the profit before tax from 5.2 billion to 21. Can you see? And then look at profit for the year from 4.6 billion loss. Can you see here? 4.6 billion loss to 13.4. 4.6 to 30.4. Now look at what is more interesting to me here. Look at the EPS here. From 1.16 loss to 3.29 in first quarter. In first quarter, the company reported 3 naira 29 kobo. The first quarter result alone exceeded the whole of 2020. You can see here, the previous full year. Can you see? The previous full year was 2.32, but PZ in first quarter alone has already covered up the whole year. Imagine in just 3 months, a company is reporting an EPS that far exceeds the whole of previous year. What does that tell you? This aligns with what I just showed you on chart, which is what? Cup and handle pattern, that a breakout is coming on PZ now. So this is a stock you should watch out for in 2026. PZ is a stock to watch out for in 2026. Now, I am letting you see this because at least let me reward my YouTube subscribers for being loyal, for being at least for following all my videos, for also helping me to grow my channel to where it is. I really appreciate the likes, I appreciate the engagement, and my statistics have been quite impressive. So that's why I am releasing this, I said thank you recommendation. So my engagement at the back end has been very impressive. So please, if you're here to subscribe to this channel, hit the subscription button, turn on notification bell. Because when I release important updates like this, why should you miss this opportunity? A lot of consumer goods stocks have peaked. Look at the kind of return they are posting here. And then because PZ has a different financial year. So expect this catalyst to rub off fully on PZ next year. Upward price adjustments, stronger naira, moderating inflation, rising population is driving demand for essential products. So that is why I am bullish on PZ. From technical standpoint, we're already seeing a cup and handle pattern right here. Both on the monthly, the interesting thing is that this chart pattern is visible on both monthly and weekly. Can you see? So if it's visible on both weekly and monthly time frame, then it tells you that we're going to see a big rally coming on PZ stock. So PZ is the only stock, only high cap stock in the consumer goods sector that is still crawling. Year to date, PZ has only delivered 70%. The NGS consumer goods sector as a whole has delivered 104%, meaning PZ has underperformed. So with the result I'm seeing here, the Q1 result, which is already far, far higher, that's the EPS, than the previous full year, I have no doubt that PZ will shoot higher. Because by the time we see Q2, Q3, Q4, there's a lot of buying interest. There will be a lot of buying interest on PZ stock. So this is why I'm bullish. PZ is breaking out into a new high, and I see this as the crawling stock that will fly in 2026. I hope this video helps. I hope you have learned a lot. I hope you can see the insights right here, just like usually get from my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Please hit the subscription button if this video makes sense. If you like this video, please reward me with more subscribers. If you can even share, you can drop your comments, because I want this to reach more people. I want to empower Nigerians. I want Nigerians to see the opportunities in the stock market. I want Nigerians to see that the stock market is not a place where you just buy a stock and leave. If you adopt what I call sector rotation will help you move money from one sector to another. With sector rotation, you follow the internal money, you follow the money, you follow investors who are moving the markets.